Hey everyone, I'm Wa.
And I'm Chris, and welcome to DocuSweeties.
We're two longtime friends who discuss the riveting and sometimes trashy world of reality TV and docuseries.
Yes, but through our own lens, which can be very tired, can be relaxed, can be contented, full of peace, and can also be lethargic. At the end of the day, hopefully mildly sweet. Hello, happy Sunday.
Hi.
Sunday vibes of a podcast for sure.
Definitely late Sunday night. We just finished watching that episode that ended, bare minimum minutes ago. And so this is a late Sunday recording because you girls are dedicated. So today we're talking 90 Day Fiancé season 10, episode 14. And from this day forward, you and I will never get over Nikki and what we are going to see next episode. So happy we didn't see it this episode, but next episode I'm going to be very upset because I don't want to see it. Let's start off though with Rob and Sophie. Rob is in some kind of world in which he and his wife are in a two-person gang, and the wife is supposed to be gang no matter what, no matter if she's staying in a space that has no insulation and roaches. So when the opportunity should arise for her to hang with her mother and do skincare in an hotel, that she shouldn't take it, even though he's being a right bastard, Anyway, so
Yeah. I love
the
that.
mother,
It was like Johnny came in and said bastard for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, there you are,
yeah.
Johnny. We'll talk
Oh wait,
about you
I
later.
didn't mean. Oh, it wasn't meant to be Boston. Did it come out as Boston? It was meant to
You were
be
like
British. I didn't say he's a right beast bastard. I didn't say bastard like Boston. Like I didn't.
Boston. Like, yeah, because like Boston, bastard. I don't know.
Oh,
You know what?
God, I really
Sorry
messed
about
that up.
it. Sorry
Thank
about
you.
it. No.
Wow, everybody. I meant to say bastard. I didn't mean to say bastard. You know what I
You
mean?
know what? There it is. There it is. Yeah. No,
So I
there.
said
You're right.
bastard.
Okay. I don't know. You know what? I wish I could play the tape, but I can't play the tape
Okay,
because we're
I meant to
live
say.
streaming right now. But you know
No.
what? Yeah, he's bananas, and he's always been bananas for the same reason, which is that he's like, look, I'm hot and I want a hot woman. He said it episode one.
Mm-hmm.
Episode one.
Mm-hmm.
Except that he is insane at 32 to think that hot women can survive without their own bathrooms,
Mm-hmm.
because hot women, and I mean specifically in the version of hot that we know that he likes,
Mm-hmm.
is a woman that's primped,
Mm-hmm.
put things have to happen,
Mm-hmm.
and they have to be paid for.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the rub of almost every
Mm-hmm.
dumb man that I can't stand, who wants a hot woman, and the hot version is someone who has to work at it and pays for it, and they themselves are so cheap they don't understand it. So it's like you can't be with a woman like that and not offer her a world in which she can maintain and be that. Without having a bathroom, it's impossible. So
Yes.
that's why I'll never be on his team. But even though he, whatever, has moments, I will say that I loved this. So obviously, Sophie and her mom are like, "Peace out. We're going to a hotel. Like, fuck you." And he's so upset because, again, Sophie's not being ride or die and staying with him, that they go to this restaurant. We start to see them drive up, and they're not driving, they're in a Uber, and I'm like, "Where are they gonna go?" And she's so excited to go to the hotel. Can't wait to see the hotel. I'm like, "Where is it?" They go to a place. I'm like, "What place is this?" They keep showing it's a place named Ingle Wine. I'm like, "Ingle Wine? Where is that?" I look it up, you guys. And just side note, it says Ingle Wine looks so awesome. And I'm so happy that I do this weird, curious shit, because Ingle Wine, I guess, is a wine shop in Inglewood that's like Black woman owned and features a bunch of not only fabulous wines and a fabulous menu, but like the largest selection of Black owned and LGBTQ wines, which
Cool.
I was like, oh my God, so many things. And in this setup, you'll never know this is the place from you when you see Sophie and her mom. They literally get orange juice to drink. It feels like it's in the middle of the day. I don't see any wine. Like on the actual menu, there's a happy hour, there's cheese and charcuterie. I was like dying for this. Anyway, so and it's also an event space. So, anyways, just like side note, by the way, obviously not spawned. I'm just like the most curious cat. So that's what that is. I'll go
Non-spawn.
anytime. But
Yeah, I'll be
God
in
bless.
Inglewood. I'll be in Inglewood at the end of March. So like, it may be on my way in
It's
from
on La
the
Brea.
LAX. Yeah. She's like, not far
on
at
the
all.
brand.
I'm like,
No, I
maybe I
know it.
shouldn't rent a car. Maybe I should just get an Uber to drop me off there with my luggage. So
Because
get
it's always
some
so interesting to see, like, I wanna know,
beverages.
like, yeah, I wanna see, like, where they're when they're driving up on the Uber, I'm like, "Where are they? I wanna see where they are." When I go to
Yeah.
this place, I'm like, this the last thing that I think is absolutely crazy before I give it to you is this moment because at this Ingle wine place, Sophie gets a fucking text from Rob, and what Rob decides to text this person who's just left in a heap with her mom is a video of a car that's not that like a dream weird car, like, I don't know, probably on Instagram, he's sending her a reel or something of a car, and then he tags it or texts her, "Look what we could have," which is the saddest, most depressing mid-30s dream text of something that of what's not reality that I can't even really fathom, like, words to, like, use, but it's like, she knows in the moment that it's crazy. The mom is like, "This is bananaramas," but what did you
I
think?
mean, I thought that it was such a immature thing to send somebody as a 32-year-old. Like, if he were 22, the same age as Sophie, I could see him sending it to her, living in some fantasy world. But the truth is that Rob is a loser, and I'm gonna continuously say it. Unless he's got his money tied up in some kind of business venture where he's having to live, a low, low a low income life at the moment because he's got his money tied up. His friends put better effort into looking good on TV more so than he does. This man let camera crews follow him into a laundromat. Now, I know it's maybe trying to show that he's like a real guy and like a real LA dude who like washes his clothes in the laundromat. But I'm like, you couldn't find like a better situation? I don't know. But okay, before we go there, let's get back to Sophie and her mom. Now, mom is really go ahead.
I just wanna say the one thing about the laundromat. I get the laundromat, it's very or he really, like, yeah, he can't listen, we can't just keep saying this man's poor, and it looks like he is, but it's just interesting, again, I'm like, "You don't have one friend, though? Like, not a one" like, I don't have a washer and dryer in my apartment. I have one in my apartment building, so that's a luxury, right? Like, not everyone has it in their building, I don't have it in my room. So because I don't have one in my apartment, there are people in my life that do have washer and dryers, like, in their homes or whatever. So sometimes I just go to their houses and do it. And I wonder, does he not even have a friend with their own washer and dryer? Like, I wouldn't be his friend with my own washer and dryer. Like, like, I don't have one in my apartment. Again, as I've said it 14 times, it's weird that I keep saying it. But,
Well, what I'm saying is that yes, when I lived in Los Angeles, I did not have a washer and dryer. I had to go around the corner to the laundromat, and I would pack it up every Sunday or every other Sunday, and I would take my laundry cart and I would take all of my accoutrement, you know, with me, and I would lug it down the down the stairs, and I
cute.
would
You're cute.
take it, and then I had it all down. But I don't know if especially if I had started out the episode saying that I'm hot and I want a hot girl, and then allow them 14
Mhm,
episodes in
mhm.
to be at the laundromat where my friends come in just looking good, gold chains swinging,
That part.
and record me in the
Wow.
laundromat at a low point. But let me, like I said, we can get back to
Yes,
that. Let me get to back to mom.
but I'm happy you said it. I know. Okay.
So mom really wants to tell her to just get on the plane with her, but mom is playing the long game. She knows that she can't just tell the girl to leave Rob because she hates Rob. So she's just trying to like drop little nuggets of how Rob has red flags. Mom is trying to act like she doesn't know the outcome of this situation. She just doesn't want to push her daughter away by being like incessant and being like, come on, Sophie, this is dumb. You're being dumb. She's trying to just be her friend throughout the whole thing. She's like, "Oh my god, he's got anger issues, right? Oh my god, Sophie. Okay, the truth is I don't want him to take your sparkle. He's fine. He's fine. You guys are fine together, but the truth is I feel like he might dim your light. And
Mm.
I don't want him to dim your light cuz he seems to be going through something, which I feel so bad for him. But I don't want you to go away."
She says the smartest thing possible, which is true, which is insecure people will always feel that way if that's what they're coming from their core as an insecure, hateful, miserable person. And if they are that, I'm not saying Rob is, but
He
this
is.
is what the advice that the mom's giving the child is that if they are that, they will do whatever it takes for you to feel it as well.
Mhm.
Because it doesn't work. It doesn't work for you to shine and for them to feel even shittier about themselves. Two peas in a pod works better. Misery loves company.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I want to say this about Rob. It's interesting that episode 14 that there is no sign of Rob, whether it's happened or whether he's made the producers, like recorded and whether it's on the cutting room floor, of him actively trying to remedy and or upgrade and or better his situation at all. Doesn't it feel like she's there, they're getting married, but like she's always kind of like been like, what happened before? Why haven't you been doing those things? And I want to be like, have you been applying for jobs? Or like, like is there are you working right now? Like do you work? And if so, right, are you trying to find work? Only because like how is this dream car going to y- what is your trajectory? Like is it just that you're going to be Instagram famous, be Jay-Z and then get this car?
I think that he probably thinks that he needs to stay with Sophie right now because he doesn't have a proper home for her to, like, be in, right? If he had, like, a
Mm,
proper apartment or something where he could just, like, leave her there and be like, "Hey, here are the amenities. Here's what you can do. Here's the neighborhood. You could just walk down the block and go here. Here's the whatever." Like, he probably could just leave her, but I don't know where it is that they live. Maybe it's not walking distance or like maybe it's just not the type of place where he could just actually leave her. He probably isn't working and is using her as an excuse why he can't work yet.
mhm,
And number one. Number two,
mhm,
I just think that I don't know that he has a plan. I feel like Rob is the type of guy who is with her because she's hot, yes. But two, she has more earning potential than him. She has more drive than him and more go-getter attitude. And she is going to make more money than him. He's the type of guy who would A, want to bring her down, B, be jealous of her if she made more money, C, then cheat on her because she wasn't paying attention to him and he needs somebody to have his back and be at his side. So I really do think that this is not going to work, but it really needs to be Sophie that needs to be the one to discover that. And I think she's going to discover it too late because she's too young to be able to make a good decision and she still believes in the fairy tale. Now, then we have the laundromat scene with his friends. We already went over it. But she's he said he thinks he's the prize. He's like, I told Sophie that the answer is no up until the day of and until I say yes, until I say I do.
mm.
So she thinks that once she buys the dress that the answer is yes. But that's not true. I will say no all the way up until the altar. So he's holding that over on her as though like so guess what? So I think that because it is that she wants to get married and he thinks that he can hold that over on her and he's disappointed at
Mm,
her at this time because she's not washing laundry with him in this laundromat. She's chosen to go hang out with her mother and be in a more comfortable situation. And
mhm.
I didn't like that back and forth where she's like, "Oh, I'm not going to talk to him. He's going to have to reach out and apologize to me first so that I can know that he's mature." And I'm like, "That's not one, A, going to happen. B, two, it's not going to show you that he's matured." Like
Yeah.
he's an idiot. So, anyways,
Touche, touche.
yeah. Okay. We're going to move on to Justin and Nikki.
Sure.
Who are still fighting to this day. So they wake up and Justin, he has decided that he's going to take his friend's advice. His friend's extremely sexist and transphobic advice and be the one who's showing his masculinity more because um apparently Nikki has been showing her masculinity or something, and so now Justin needs to overshow his, and so they get ready to leave because Justin has plotted out every single day for them that they're in Moldova. And my thought is, there a day of rest? Because I would require one every other day. Like we're not getting up every day doing stuff. I can't do that.
It's
Um,
so interesting. So I'm like, who made this schedule? He already talks like he's an AI Moldovan. I made schedule and today. horseback riding. And you're
And
just like,
focus it. They want to focus it on horseback riding.
so yeah, it's he. I will say this. Now, okay, so basically Nikki is upset and she's always upset. And so they're getting into the car, they're like walking into the car and she's like gets in the car and he gets in the car on his side. She's like, "Wow, you're such a gentleman for opening the door for me." Which I loved because I think that men should open doors for people and they don't anymore. It's rude. And he doesn't say anything about it. He hears it, clocks it, pretends it didn't happen. Now, then Nikki picks a fight in the car. Like she's already hot. She's hot by saying that. She's hot in the car. "Do you remember why I came? Well, it wasn't to fight." And it's like,
Mm-hmm.
well, you're fighting right now. That's a fight.
Yeah.
Those are fighting words. So that part is a little hard to deal with. And again, Nikki, as we've said, is very upset that he's not like fucking her every moment and just like and being really into her. And so that's unfortunate. And so that's a lot of their fighting. And what then we don't get to really talk about and discuss with Nikki is exactly what Wahama talked about in the beginning is these archaic tropes of masculinity and femininity, you know, against the backdrop of Eastern European culture, which is fascinating. And so, what I feel like we are being deprived of is having nuanced conversations with people with point of views that I would be interested in if we could actually be talking about her, not so much whether he's fucking her, but how male and females work in those kinds of relationships and what she wants and what he wants truly and like what it looks like. I wish we could have more, insightful conversations about gender and sexuality since this is what they're giving us as opposed to really focusing on like whether, they're fucking or not well. Because the unfortunate thing is they should be fucking well for us to have a show about them. But they're not, right? Because they're kind of a fake couple and they even shouldn't be on this one as well. Hama said should be on Before the 90 Days. So it's like if they were a little more real and if they had a little more substance, we could actually get into, I think, very interesting, probably also problematic conversations about sexuality and gender and culture.
Yes. But he also tries to push his quote unquote masculinity onto her by complaining that she doesn't clean up enough after meals and I guess after herself at all. And she's like, "Well, I'm a guest here. Like, why would I clean up?" Which is like it's crazy to me. I would think that when you go visit somebody, you just do your best to not be, they're not they're not your maids. If you go to someone's house, yes, you're a guest. Like no one's expecting you to, cook every single meal, but you do offer to help. You do offer to help clean up. You ate, like get in that kitchen and clean. Like put your products away once you're done with them. It's like it felt like he was complaining that she gets up, he cooks, and then she eats, and then she's like, "I'm gonna go get ready," and then she goes and like tornadoes through the bathroom, and then moves all of her stuff into the bedroom, sits down in front of the mirror on the floor on the carpet, and then spreads out all of her shit, makeup, powders, hair, all this stuff, and then puts on caked on foundation and then just leaves it all out, and then her clothes are everywhere, and he's just like trying to clean up after her after she does every single thing. And she's like, "I'm a guest, like I don't understand, like obviously if you came to visit me, like I would do most of this." And he's like, "You don't care, blah 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 blah, like I'm doing all this for you and you have no sense of that." And she's like, "Well, I'm learning." But I'm like, if you're not cleaning up after yourself when you're at somebody's home and you're visiting them for, I don't know, 3 weeks, a month, I don't know how long this is, but you should be cleaning up after yourself, especially in his small ass apartment.
I mean, yeah, and I almost wish that we got to see more of this,
Yeah,
like I don't really need to see another scene of them fighting in a car. I would have rather see this breakfast shit, why wasn't this on camera,
you're
but
right. Producers were
yeah,
late, maybe.
I know.
They slept in. Anywho, so we see that, and it's just annoying to see him yelling at her over those things. And
Learn how to be in healthy relationship. Learn. And it's like, you learn.
yeah,
The
yeah,
fuck? Who the fuck do you think you are?
yeah. All right, so then we move on to Ashley and Manuel. So she has a una sorpresa for him again, And it's Niagara Falls. And let me tell you, I never think of Niagara Falls. Not never, not ever. Not ever.
Mm.
So for Manuel to have been dreaming of Niagara Falls and like so excited, I am happy for him. You know what it reminded me of?
Hmm.
When's the last time we saw somebody on a Matt Sharp? Maybe you didn't watch the season, but when's the last time we saw somebody on a Matt Sharp show go to Niagara Falls? Okay, I'll tell you.
Oh, I know it. Shut up. I know what it is. It's when Libby and Andre went.
Oh, they went?
Well, that was the Grand Canyon. Nah,
Yeah,
just kidding.
that
I
was
fucked
Grand
up. It
Canyon.
was Grand Canyon.
And
Go
you
ahead.
told me to shut up and everything. Just so
I
aggressive.
only,
And
you know
you
why I said shut
the
up? I said shut up
audacity.
because I'll tell you why. I actually didn't want you to shut because you gave me 1 second to think about it and I thought I knew it. And so really what I wanted to do was pause, let me get it out of my mouth and like, because I knew an answer. Unfortunately, it was the wrong answer, although we can see how I made a grievous mistake because it's two natural wonders. Go
Okay,
ahead.
the last one you're right. The last one, is it one of the 7 wonders, the Grand Canyon?
Okay, so by the way, Manuel is like it's one of the wonders of the world, and so I looked it up. It's actually not. It's actually not. It's not. There's the wonders of the world, and it's not one of them. Some people say it maybe is one of the natural wonders or the 8th, but it's not.
Okay.
However, I think there's also other lists.
Victoria Falls is one of the 7 wonders of the world, I believe.
Never heard of it.
Okay,
It's
well,
like
now you okay,
Taj
here,
Mahal. It's like Taj Mahal. It's like the Great Wall of
the great
China.
what about the pyramids? Are the pyramids an
Like
7 wonder
one
one?
of the pyramids. I think
Okay,
it's like
yeah.
Machu Picchu. It's like that Jesus in Brazil or the Jesus that's like the Redeemer. That one, whatever that
Oh,
one is.
in Rio
Mexico
de
City.
Janeiro? In Rio
Sure.
de Janeiro, the guy? This
Yeah,
one?
it's like a bunch of those places, and I didn't see any like big ass waterfalls. I love a waterfall. I
Okay.
want to go. They like if this was spawned, I like wrote down Mist of the Maiden or Maiden of the Mist, whatever the fuck weird boat they went on because I'm in it. I could not because I'm Pisces. Love the energy from a waterfall more. Like I think it's exhilarating. Like I get turned on. I totally get that. I would absolutely love to take someone either that I love or myself, or again, someone that I'd fuck, and then go take in all that rushing water power and then just, you know what I'm saying? Do you
No.
like that song? Do you like that song Water by Tyla?
Mm-mm.
Okay, go on.
I don't know it. I don't know it.
Okay.
When you say like, I didn't mean like I don't like it. I mean, do you know it? No. Okay, so what is the official, which is not the right structure of a sentence. What is the official 7 wonders of the world?
Mm,
Colosseum in Italy, Petra in Jordan, uh Chichen Itza in Mexico, Christ the Redeemer in Brazil, Machu Picchu in Peru, Taj Mahal in India, and the Great Wall of China. Was that
mhm.
7?
Yeah.
But anyways, I thought Victoria Falls was one of them. Victoria Falls is in South Africa. Okay.
Mm,
So, Niagara Falls, um, it was
mhm.
Mike and Meghan, not Markle, because she's from
Oh,
Rochester and he came up to visit her. Or is she from Atlanta? No, she's from
yeah.
Atlanta. He
You
was
said
in
Matt Sharp.
Rochester. Yeah.
I should have
And
known when you said Matt Sharp, you meant Love After Lockup. You
yeah, yeah.
sneaky devil.
I am. And so anyways, so that's the last time I remember seeing a Niagara Falls scene is that they went up there and it was like whatever. That's where they proposed or some shit. Anyways, so Manuel's super excited about it and then she's like, "Okay, boo, are you ready to adapt? Are you ready to adapt to America?" So excited and he's like, "Yes, I'm ready to adapt to your culture, but not your spending culture." And she's like, "I'm only spending this way because I have a wedding to plan and I'm planning a wedding and like what are you talking about?" And like he's like, "Well, da, 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 da." And she's like, I don't want to even fight." And he's like, "Well, then don't fight." And she's like, "But you brought this up." So then like they're like,
She
"Whatever."
brought it
And
up. Those are fighting words. "Hey, are you ready to adapt to our culture?" Why are you like that's not a fun thing to say to anyone. "Hey, you ready to like forget your whole life and pretend to be American now and like give up all of your morals and values and just acquiesce to me?" I felt like that was aggressive.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't clock that. I didn't clock that. I didn't
Mm.
clock that he would get upset about that. Okay.
I thought it was
Okay.
rude.
Okay. Okay. Well, they get into that fight. So they get ponchos. But I really did
Oh,
love seeing the cameramen like try to run and follow them.
me
Because I
too.
remember at some point the like one of the cameramen is in the shot and they ended up cutting And then there's just like following them around. Finally, they just decide, listen, we're not gonna follow them anymore. Everyone just stand back and let's just get wide shots of her running after him every time he moves to run away from her. And then we just get Mike. Yeah, I was just like, thank you guys. Everyone just back up. But anyways, this, I every time I see these people in these reality shows, I think to myself, when do you get comfortable having a full camera crew with you in public? Like, when is it comfortable having an argument in public and knowing that cameras are watching you? Because I don't know when you get comfortable, because I don't know that I would ever be comfortable. I'd be like, I don't want to fight now. Okay, we need the fight later.
But you do have to fight now because that's what the producers are saying. Fight now, do the fight now. Off camera,
Okay.
they're like, fight, do the fight. And you're just like, okay, there's like water in your face. You're like, okay, I'll start fighting. But I do want to do it. It looks so fabulous. Not fight on camera, but do the Maiden of the Mist thing.
Yes, they get ponchos. They go in the water. Ashley is feeling the espiritu, and she is like, "Hey, Manuel, do you want to do this, bro? Because if you want to do this, I'm fucking down. Are you ready, my friend? Like, should we just do it?" And he's like, "Yeah, let's do it." Like, she's like, the energy is like positive and like when I wash away, there's like rainbows and shit. Like, I am so fucking down, bro. We have a long way to go, but marriage is just the first step. And let me tell you right now, Chris, I am here for them. Maybe it's because like maybe it's I think I'm here for Ashley and Manuel because like if that could be me, I think I'd be so happy. All I want is to just like
I know. I wish that he had a little more going for him in the sense of a little more ambition and or what I feel like he wants to do here and or wasn't so just really putting everything on her financially, but what can we do?
But he will work. He will work as soon as he can.
I want to see it. I want to see her fucking back off a little bit and like give him some space, and because I do feel like their bickering is sexy, but at the same time it's going to get old, I think, and I don't want it to like, I just, we're still in a new stage right now. But the rainbow is nice, and I do feel like at some point I was like, did Ashley like take a shroom gummy? Because when she has this moment, it's all about the bro. It suddenly became kind of like I was like, are you in a drug haze? I don't know. The verbiage felt.
You mean did she take a gummy? She probably did.
Okay. All right. Well, here we are.
I think that's the end of it for them. They just seemed really on a positive note at the end, and I'm happy for them.
Yep.
Yeah, she's just like, Manuel, tu eres like I love the way she like speaks him in Spanish with her like just her American gringa accent. She's like, Manuel, tu eres listo? Okay, vámonos. She's just so she's just so cute. I thought she would get on my nerves, but she does, but not terribly bad. Okay. Gino and Jasmine?
Yeah.
Okay, guys, Gino and Jasmine. So we finally have it. Jasmine has finally told Gino about getting the money from Dane. And I don't know how he managed to lose control or lose the upper hand in this argument, but he did. And all I
can tell you when.
And I know when it happened, but I just am like, Gino, why did you do that? Why did he say the thing? It's so fucking stupid.
He's so dumb. You're right.
It's like he could have just stayed pissy and like kind of annoyed. And when she said the thing, and listen, I'm talking about these producers, racist. Like as soon as they showed a picture of her holding that knife as though like she was aggressive or she was going to stab him with it, I was like, racism, fiery Latina trope. I don't like it. No me gusta. Like, but she's like, baby, what's wrong? I'm hungry. Let's eat a salad. And I'm like, what the fuck is a salad gonna do for you? But anyways, so they start off in the kitchen, this ugly ass white kitchen, and they're at home in Michigan and they're cooking, and we see carrots, and she's cutting up carrots, which is like a dangerous activity in my mind personally. I'm like, how can you quickly just cut yourself? So Gino is in a bad mood. So she tells he's like, well, I'm still upset about, you know, your ex Dane, you talking to him and him giving you money for the butt stuff. And Jasmine's like, well, you know, Gino, he's really into altruism. He's into helping other people out and wanting to give and see other people be happy. And so it's like,
What?
it's like
That's
she's trying to tell him.
she provoked Gino then. That's when she
Yeah.
said altruism, I think Gino was like, "How fucking dare you? I'm gonna
But
come back
also
with my."
he's also like, what does that mean? And like, secondly, she also wanted to, he's like, what's ultimate? Let me look that
He's
up.
an atheist?
Yeah, he has no
I thought
idea what that.
he doesn't believe in God. Why would he give you money if he doesn't believe in God?
He says he doesn't understand what that means at all, because basically what she wants to tell Gino is like, listen, there are people out there who have money and they will just give it to others. Just give it to them. So my ex, Dan,
Please help me.
he
I can't.
I have not had sex with that man in 3.5 years. And he will just give me money, unlike you, who I have been trying to have sex with for 3.5 years. And for the most part, you've not been able to get it anywhere near my vagina, up, hard, nothing. Like, so, and this man will just give me money. So the truth is if you had enough money to just give it to me, then we wouldn't be in this situation. Like that is what's happening underneath. You know what I mean? That's the subtext of Dane and his altruism.
Yeah.
Is that he just wants to
Also,
give it to me because he wants to make me happy. So let him.
yes. But she will use him as a weapon anytime because the minute that she gets upset, it's suddenly like, Dane was the best fucking lover of my life, the richest, best fucker in the whole world. And you're always just like, then why aren't you with him? Then
Yes.
why on God's green earth, if you could be in a relationship with the richest, hottest, whatever,
Mhm.
like guy that really lays it down for you just and is obsessed with you, that will just give you all this money, if that is it, then why wouldn't you be with him?
What
Because
happened?
right
What happened? What did
now
you
we
do?
met Don,
Mhm.
and I,
I think what happened is that she freaked out on him one time and he was like, "Oh no, baby, this is not that." Oh no. He was probably way more with her, and she needs somebody that's a pushover like Gino. And I think the problem is that Gino is a pushover with no money and who wants to hoard the little money that he has. And so no one else is getting her a passport out of Panama. Nobody with and Dane has too much backbone, but
mm,
he'll give her money. He's just not going to acquiesce to her shenanigans. So it's really sad, unfortunate situation, but this
mm,
is how he loses control over the situation.
God.
So he's like, why are you still talking to your ex? If it were me talking to my exes, you would be beside yourself. And she's like, well, because when you talk to your exes, you give them naked photos of me. Now, this is where Gino lost control, because all he had to say was, you know what, you're right. And I am sorry for what happened with my exes, but it still makes me very upset that you talked to your ex and got this from him. And so, like, I need you to end your relationship with him right now. Like, he could have just drawn it out or whatever, but he
Mhm,
chose to
mhm.
be like, well, are you sure it wasn't unprovoked? Which is like, what the fuck, Gino? Why are you trying to double down on anything that happened with your ex? You got Jasmine fired. Your behavior. I mean, the truth is, like, if if her employer saw her episode of 90 Day Fiance, she got herself fired. But she right?
I mean, here's the thing. You have to believe all of this to be true, and you also have to like take into account the entire season previously of this season has trying to been painting Jasmine as an amazing mom who has sacrificed so much and it goes to bed crying every night over the guilt of whether she's been a good mom or not. That's what we have to deal with. Now we're seeing Jasmine maybe being a serial killer with a knife in her hand screaming. So like, like all of this has to be taken with a certain amount of salt, right? We're just like, all right, this. Yeah, yeah. All right, but basically what ends up happening is Jasmine goes from crazy, like, psycho killer, literally with a knife, to being like, "You know what? You're right." Because he's like, "You
How
can't,"
dare
because
you say I provoked it? I hate
she
you.
goes crazy. Yeah, she goes crazy. And then what happens is that she brings up Dane. It's Dane. And then he wins again because he's like, "How fucking you always bring up Dane? You can't do this. We're not gonna get married." And then she's like, "You're right." So now what she has to do is give a voice note to Dan to be like, which Wahama's gonna do for us about breaking up. Go ahead. Go ahead, get your phone.
Hi, Dan.
No, go get your phone. Pretend you're on WhatsApp.
I'm getting it.
Such a bitch.
Hi, Dan. This is Jasmine. I'm calling you because you have been a great friend that I have always loved, whose dick is bigger than the man that's in front of me right now. But I just want to say that out of respect for the current small, flaccid penis in front of me, I
Cheap,
cannot
cheap.
see you anymore. I know that you have nothing in your heart but goodness for those around you. But
So
the cheap
altruistic.
bastard in front of me wants me to not talk to you anymore. And out of respect for him and his stinky poos, I, Jasmine, cannot talk to you anymore. And I wish you all the best, Dan. I wish you all the best, and I'm going to miss all the money that you might give me for the things that Gino in front of me with his bald, weird shaped head and his stupid hats cannot give to me, but I love him. And so, thank you so much. And I wish all the best for you, okay? Bye. I love you forever. Boop.
What
Wait a
did
minute. I
he?
have a question.
Yeah. Okay.
Who are the steps leading into the tub? Who are those steps for?
The
Coco?
dog. Yes. That's yes. Coco. That's how Coco gets into the tub, so that when Coco gets washed. I
Okay.
thought about it too.
Okay.
Um. So Dan gets that voicemail, and then or whatever voice note, and he's just like, "There goes the love of my life. I'll know for a fact."
Freedom.
He's like, "There's the one that will always. I'll know is the one that got away. How did I do it? Like." Do you think he saves it? It's just like, this is, I gotta save this. And do you think that he listens to it like every night to go to bed as some sort of like lullaby?
He was like, "Oh, I am free. I am free."
Yeah.
Oh
Oh
God,
my
that's a
God.
lullaby. Sweet, sweet tunes to sleep by. Is Dan? Hey
I know.
Dan, how are you? Okay. So that's the end of it, and Jasmine and Gino are in love once again. Okay. Moving on to Annalie and Clayton.
Should we tell the
So
podcast people how today we had a conversation whether we really needed clarification from your side of whether I truly thought Annalie was pretty? We already did it. Annalie, I think, is a very regs pretty girl with absolutely no Instagram filtration, like, whatever aesthetics on her. And that's why I give her some pause. I'm
well,
sorry.
no,
That's
I
why I
mean,
give her some props, is what I want to say. Not pause.
no,
Props.
I guess what it is that it's just sometimes you remark
Mm-hmm.
and
Don't know how to take it.
I don't know how to take it because I'm
Yeah.
like, why do we uh
Why am I
you know,
saying it?
it's like, yeah, why are you saying it? It's like unless it's someone like, okay, I mean, like unless it's a great beauty, like I don't know. Sometimes Yara will come out wearing something and I'm like, that bitch better work.
Mm-hmm.
Or sometimes Kalini, I'm like, ooh, she cute, she cute. You know what I mean? But like you're like, oh my God. Like I'll see Thais and I'm like, yeah, bitch, come through, come through, come through, And then there'll be somebody super plain Jane, and you're like, she's really pretty. And I'm like, okay. That's it. That's just it. That's it. And sometimes I think you're doing it because you don't think that person is. And so you just
I want to give space and room for people who are not playing the same kind of like aesthetic thing that everyone else is doing. And she's real natch. Now, here's the thing about Anna Lee. I think I said this early on when we first saw her, but we've also seen Anna Lee in a permanent resting bitch face the entire time. And by the way, so is Clayton's mom, which is basically what this the whole episode's about. What a fucking mild bitch that Anna Lee is. And so because of that, it's not making her prettier in my eyes. It's kind of making her I gave that. Yeah. But then again, look at the one saying it. This is all I mean, Clayton must look at Anna Lee and because Anna Lee's features are so very different from his family, there must be also, I think, um an understanding that the difference and the exoticness is to be valued. You know what I'm saying?
no, but it's okay.
Some white look at his mom again. Put him up, put him up, put it up.
I'm
Some
good.
guys,
He
and
looks like his mom.
yeah, I think that there's he because Anna Lee doesn't look like this person, I think that he's like, "Oh, okay, great. I'll pick her. Yes,
No.
this is the one." Because if I have kids with Anna Lee, I can change my bloodline.
Lordy,
Now,
lordy.
am I going to hell? Oh, okay.
Okay. Remember these guys? Where'd they go? Is their love story just over? They gave us
Wait,
a
are they on
good,
this season?
I don't know.
No.
Is a good
Are they
no? Yeah.
wait.
They got married in like episode 5, and we'll never see Devin and Jehoon again.
Wow, and they were just so unremarkable that besides the piggy thing, my god. All they
Mhm,
had was he calls her piggy and he has a weird Australian accent, which was interesting at one point.
mhm.
Wow. Okay. No, I forgot about him and we all did too. But anyway,
Okay. Anywho, let's get back to Clayton and the other one. So Annalie is pissed because Clayton is not understanding the heaviness of the wedding, and he all of a sudden, maybe not all of a sudden, but I always thought it was interesting that they met on a website that helped each other learn the other's language, yet it felt like Annalise still didn't have a good grasp of English, which is fine. But he's now frustrated that she hasn't caught up with the English well enough to be able to call and make reservations or like do things. And I'm like, that's a crazy ask. It's a crazy ask because I'm gonna tell you right now. I tried to once order a cake in Spanish with the Spanish I have, and that person speaking back to me, I didn't know what that person was saying. Like all I could do was say the thing that I wanted, which was "Yo necesito una pastel." And I gave him the inches, and I said the sabors that I required, and then they asked me something back, and I was like, "Yo necesito una pastel." Like, I'm like, don't ask me any questions. I'm telling you what it is I need. So it's really difficult to do that. And so for him to all of a sudden expect her to just step up to the plate and do these things is crazy. When him and his sister are two able-bodied people, and the mother. So it's like, why didn't they divvy up the plans and then just do it?
or not have a big ass wedding.
Yeah.
Or one-stop shop. Hey, if you're really bad at planning things, you go to a one-stop shop. There are places that will do all the things for you. You know, you
Hmm.
buy a package, it's done.
Hmm.
You know, like so that's that part is confusing, but what we get is a lot of awkward conversations between him and his mom over the mom being passive aggressive, not liking the fact that Annalie doesn't try and speak any English, doesn't speak any English, just kind of comes in, cooks her Mexican food, refuses to cook any burgers, refuses to cook any beef, and also like doesn't, I think, in Clayton's mom's mind, like cater to her son enough
Yeah.
in a certain way, and which is we all want to know why the fuck are you living? Why is it okay for you all to live together? You know, like
Yeah.
Clayton's mom was like, if I could get out, I'd get out right now. It's like, well,
Then
time for you to
go.
get out.
That and she's like, and then I'm trying to go to sleep and y'all have the lights on and she's cooking food and it's all chicken, 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 chicken. And where's the beef? And I was like, is this like a 90s ad for like
Yeah.
what? And then I'm like, uh, people in Peru have been eating food for thousands of years. But you want her to learn to make American food? Define American food, number one. Number
Cheeseburgers. She said cheeseburgers. What if
number
she was like,
two,
and pizza? You
like
know, and you're like,
he's a growing boy, and it's like the boy can't. This growing boy, he needs to eat. Like it's like American food is somehow the only food that is like sustenance
yeah,
for him to be able to like properly be fed. And
yes,
so
the
if
nutrients.
he doesn't have American food, he's not getting the proper nutrients on a day-to-day basis. And I'm like,
Yeah,
what the hell are you talking about? What is
right.
happening? What Peruvian food is she making? Define that chicken meal because I need some chicken. I'm like, she's cooking, and you are mad that she's cooking food that's foreign because that's where the fuck she's from. And why should she learn to make cheeseburgers or what the fuck ever? A
I mean,
steak?
all of this backwards thinking, it's you really want to like just keep it in the closet.
God.
Da
Yeah.
da
Da da
da
da
da
da da da
da da.
da 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 da
That's all I
da.
can say. She's so backwards. It is, honey, I don't know
If
what to
you
tell you. I
want
almost
it,
can't even say it, like she's in a fucking closet. I'm, you know,
yeah.
this is ramblings of a closet mom. I mean, you know, half of me feels bad for her, and so I feel like I can't even say anything about her.
Yeah.
You know,
And
and
then
so
the guinea pigs, the first scene is them shopping for guinea pig outfits. Like, I can't,
get away
it's
from me.
too much, Chris. It's too much. And then he has to pack up the guinea pigs because the guinea pigs are going to the wedding.
No, I couldn't.
Then
I
he's
would
like,
not.
check on my guinea pigs. I would have been like, no, they're fine.
I'd be like, back when he
Or
wanted
my
her to post, remember when he wanted to post on fucking social media? I'd be like, you know what, bitch? I'll tell you this right now. I'll post on social media when you get rid of your closet mom and you get rid of the guinea pigs. And when that day comes, you will be all over my Instagram. But until that happens, I don't have to. It's embarrassing.
aren't you embarrassed?
Hmm.
Yes, I am. I don't know. It just was like, and then so then we get to the rented home that has a pool, and I was like, I would like a home that has a pool inside.
Yes, it was a big, it was like the oldest home possible with the oldest furniture, and then yet this indoor pool. You're like, okay, I do get it. This is cheap but very big. Then the
I
sister
get it.
comes, and then we have a very fake conversation. A very fake conversation. Because I don't see a world in which Anna Lee would honestly be like, have you made my bachelorette party for me? When we don't even know each other, and you know I don't even like you, and I haven't liked you, and you know, like, why would she expect a? I don't understand why Anna Lee would expect a bachelorette party
Well,
from
because
this
they
white
talked
woman
about
who
it.
hates her. And at that point, when they talked about it when they were in San Diego, the sister very much made it known that she was done doing shit. So why now, when you're in this old home with an indoor pool, are we suddenly back like, when my bachelorette party, my stripper? You know, like, by the way, I know we're gonna get a stripper. I know we're gonna get a stripper, and I'm not, and I'm fine with it.
Oh yeah, I don't listen. If you give me a stripper, just make sure that he doesn't gyrate close to my face. I don't like it. It's too aggressive. But I do want him to lift me.
Yeah, they all want
Mhm.
the, yeah. That's the reason why
Mhm.
to get a male stripper.
I want him to be. I want to be lifted. Mm.
I know. That's
Okay.
what happened at Amanda Sitko's, bachelorette party.
Yeah.
You know, we went to Trixie Mort we know that that was, like,
Yeah.
when we took over, yeah,
Mhm. Mhm.
really would have been a great bachelorette party for you.
Mm,
It
mhm.
wasn't owned by Trixie Mattel
It
at the
wasn't
time.
Trixie at the time, but yeah.
Same
Um.
place.
Yeah. So I'm really excited for the Bachelorette next episode, but Brandy is like, if that boy tries to ask me to officiate his wedding, because Clayton hasn't got anyone to officiate the wedding because he says he can pick anyone out of the crowd to do it, which is crazy. Why doesn't he
That's
just
a
ask Cameron to do it?
what a yeah, absolutely. Also, like, it's just, yeah, it's very, like, thinking last minute, but what a crazy law that, like, anyone could just marry anyone. 'Cause I always think that's so funny. Like, I am a minister in the Universal Life Church, so I've had to do some training to marry people, which is basically go online and sign a form. But, like, I always thought it was so interesting, like, what if I just ran around like a crazy marriage felon and just snapped my fingers around people? It was like, "You're married, you're married, you're married." If that's the case, then I could be marrying everyone all the time and people would have, like, nothing to say about it, which I always thought would be so funny. What if I went
Yeah,
around marrying people?
you should. Why not?
isn't that a reality show to be reality? Like, wouldn't you love to see me running around deciding people should get married, snapping my fingers, and they're married because I have that power,
I
and
mean,
they have
don't
to
snap the
abide?
fingers. You have to say a little chant or something, right? And make them and have a witness and then make them sign some documents.
Yeah, but it could
Mhm.
be an e-sign,
Okay.
like on like it'd be like like
Yeah,
through your
you get a
phone.
little app on your phone and you just turn it this way, and then you
Yeah.
give them a little pin, and then they would just do that, and then you'd be like, "Okay, cool. Thanks, guys. I'll send you a certificate in the mail 7 to 10 business days."
Oh no, I think I can just digitally. I'll just give it to them right there. I don't have to like send them anything. Like I think it has to be part of the program. I think that I have to have an app. Like I'm gonna marry. Maybe my thing is I start the app and then this reality show is like, funneling money through this app. It really is just washing money from some other thing. I
Funneling
read
money sounds illegal, so don't
I
say it like
know.
that.
Well, whatever. I read somewhere that like this is like a theory is all this is not true, but a theory is all Albanian pop stars are just a way to like launder money. And then that'd be Dua Lipa, and it also would be BB Rexa.
No, they're British. All right, let's move on to Sam and Citra, another weak-chinned individual. Now,
Mhm.
we meet, we get the dads together,
Mhm.
and we have them eat American food. Again, I was wondering what American food was, and it is Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Mhm.
It is chicken, and it
Mhm.
is potatoes, and it is corn, and it
Mhm.
is not even. I think the best that they could have done,
Yes,
right?
it is. Yeah, oh, yeah, it is.
In
For them?
Missouri?
Yeah.
No, in
Those
Missouri, they could.
people? Who are you talking about? Missouri the state or Sam's dad?
I'm talking about Missouri, the state. There were
Oh.
better options. What I'm saying is that there, in the state of Missouri, there is flavor, and those people chose to not get flavor.
Do you think they always eat flavor, and in this one moment, they were like, "You know what? We'll pick no flavor."
No, you're right. Okay. Okay.
This is the best they could do, and they thought they did good. They were very and there's flies all around it.
I didn't see the flies.
Now, I'm gonna tell you this right now. Fried chicken, mashed potatoes, corn. Potatoes and corn are vegetable, it's true, but, like, it's just not it just doesn't look the way it should, because there's other things involved or whatever. I like fried chicken, and I think it's very hard to fuck up fried chicken. So, I'm gonna tell you this right now, I think that they were a little I thought it was rude. Because if Sam and Sam's dad went to Citrus family and was like, "Oh, it's different, we it's not flavorful, like American food. American food has more flavor." It'd be very rude to say. So in this white people's home, that is the best they can do. And there's all these people on drugs, and the dad's wearing the same Huntington Beach shirt we've seen him in before, so it might be his only shirt, you know?
Mhm.
I thought that because what we know about Citra's dad is that he's supposed to have enough money and be a cop. So, I mean, I just want to call it out. I think it's rude that they did that. No, I'm not saying it's the best food, but it's like, what can they do? Sam, I mean, look at this fucking place. There's like,
So you think you are I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Did you are uh I they were rude when they said that the food had no flavor.
hmm you loved it though. I mean, but like,
Yes. I'm like, but they don't think they're being rude because they they think it's a fact, right? Like
hmm
and because it's they're punching up. They're like, "Ha, America's superpower, but the food is disgusting." Punching up. So, uh I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Um,
I know.
yeah.
I get what you're saying. Also, I've also, there's also a language thing where sometimes spicy means flavor, and they definitely want to be like, by the way, this food is not spicy. And so they're not only are they saying the word flavor, they're also saying spicy, which is also like a little bit confusing.
Could you it's just
Uh,
like flavorless. They're like, it has salt on it, and this this is supposed to impact me. I don't feel the impact at all. I
Oh, yeah,
mean,
just like you're tasting nothing. You're just
the
like
could you
mashed
imagine?
potatoes are just like yeah,
Yeah.
there's probably now mashed potatoes can be quite yummy, but you absolutely have to add things like
Mhm.
salt, like
Mhm.
cream, butter, like it's not good for
Mhm.
you, but that's how you make potatoes yummy. Of course, you can also add garlic or scallions or
Mhm.
parmesan or truffle oil
Parsley.
if you want
Mhm.
a
Mhm.
lot of other things. Now, we saw those potatoes. We know none of those. Could you imagine if I was like, Sam's dad, just take some white truffle oil from your cabinet and put it on? Like, obviously, that's not going to be it. So,
Oh, okay. I was like, there's no white truffle oil in there.
funny, I know that.
Um,
But yeah, basically after this, then we get the conversation of conversations, which is that Sam gets to finally come clean about whether he is going to prison with this diversion thing. And we
Woo!
have to have this awkward conversation that Citra is going to translate for her dad, and none of them get any of the details right because even Sam's details of the situation aren't very clear, which again is that he had a type of medication that is given to people that have opioid addiction in order to dull their senses. So it is a long-term and or short-term treatment of opiate care. Unfortunately, you have to be under psychiatrist's care with a lot of prescriptions because it is a class kind of drug, and he did not get those things together right, and nor did he get, after he got in the trouble, his shit together to get the other things right, because as we know, people have a hard time getting from point A to point B that have had issues with legal issues in the past. Like, this is a love
Yep.
after lockup staple.
Mhm. Mhm.
We find people have a hard time crossing their I's and dotting their T's when
Mhm.
it's through a judicial system of how to get out of shit. And so Sam has had that. He is an addict in recovery, so we have to give him a certain amount of grace, but also we have to understand that this is how this person is going to be and whether Citra wants to deal with that. And not only spoiler alert, as we've said in the was it the live? Not only does Citra want to deal with it, one of Citra's fucking sisters right now is engaged to Sam's brother. Oh, I talked about
Oh.
that on my YouTube channel. Maybe I didn't talk
Oh
about
my
that on
god, they really wanna leave Indonesia.
yeah.
That
I'm
brother, the one
sorry.
we
I
saw?
meant yes,
Oh,
yes,
that skinny individual?
yes.
Hmm. The one with her hair out or the one with her hair in?
I forgot which one.
Oh my gosh, that person's gonna convert too. Interesting. I'll listen.
Mm,
Um, um, did you notice that in next episode his mother got some kind of extensions?
no, I don't remember that. Wow, I can't wait to see it though.
I can't wait for you to see it too. Okay, wait a minute. So yeah, we do have this very interesting scene too, where the father's like, let's talk about your kids for a little bit, and the dad's like, yeah, I got 5 kids, and four of them excellent, one of them trash. That one, the one's trying to marry Citra right now, and I didn't know when he was going to get it together. But since he got with Citra, Citra's really gotten him on the straight and narrow. And it's because he could never be with Citra the way he was. Like, he could never be with Citra. Like, even now, the dad is like, I'm a cop, and I think that illegal drugs are terrible, and including marijuana, which in my country, you could go to prison for 5 years if you even have one stick of it.
A block of it? You said a
No,
block?
no, a stick. A stick, not a block. What are you talking about, you drug mule?
When Sam said block, I'm like, no one even like no right-minded person thinks of anything in a block. Like,
Except for cocaine.
yeah, I think of even in, like, in cocaine, and I'm someone who doesn't do cocaine, like, don't they think of them in bumps or ounces or 8 balls, like,
Mm.
I
I
can't
think
think
bricks.
about yeah, I guess in my mind, I'm like, but no one would have a brick. Like, unless you're a drug dealer, would you have a brick of it? Like, I like weed, and in my whole life, I've ever had a brick of weed. Never, not ever.
Mhm,
Like, that's just not a increment that
mhm.
users are accustomed to, unless you
Correct.
are a dealer or a crazed addict. And so that's why I'm just like, it's so
Crazed addict. Let me get my block of weed.
I'm like,
Where's my brick of weed?
just like, honey, a brick. A brick.
A brick of weed.
I
Um,
like just side note is I was, like, watching, like, TV with my dad, just the worst things whenever my dad wants to watch TV, it's like Cops or something or whatever, and so I was watching Cops with my dad, which I didn't wanna talk about,
bad
but here we
boy.
are.
Yes, you
Yeah, and just, like, one of the
did.
people on there, like, it was like he was being, like, one of the they so there's
Tell
a
us.
lot of people that, like, do synthetic weed, which I find so interesting. There's something called spice that's like a synthetic weed, and it's like a privilege, I guess, to be in California or rich enough where you're like, "I'm not ever gonna deal with synthetic weed." Like, there's never I don't even understand why there would be synthetic weed because in my mind, I'm like, "You can grow weed, it's a natural plant, you could just grow it." Like, I don't even
Mhm,
understand how one gets synthetic weed, what that
mhm.
even fucking means, but, like, it's illegal or whatever, and it's just so crazy.
Wow, that is crazy.
Anyway, thank you for being with that
Synthetic
with me.
weed.
That's all I have to say.
Synthetic weed sounds weird. Okay, so yeah, so there's that moment there, and Sam's like, "Dang, my dad's just telling all my business, telling him how much of a fuck up I am or was." And Herman is not impressed. Herman is like, "If he goes to jail, I will come back and take Citra to Indonesia." But Citra is the one that needs to like put her foot down to say, "No, I'm going to stay with Sam if he goes to jail." Now, at this point, I don't think Sam is going to go to jail. But if he does, I think Citrus should go back to Indonesia. But that's me.
I think she wants to wait and see, like, see how
Yeah.
she likes it here, and she wants to make her options are wealth, and she wants to keep her options open.
Yeah, I think so too. And I ain't see nothing wrong with it. I don't see
'Cau
nothing wrong with it.
honey, because as we know, we're not even talking about what I already told you, which is that right now her sister so things she had other plans.
Yeah.
Ah,
Shit, other things going on. All right, you guys, thank you so much for joining us. We are DocuSweeties. We have a Patreon if you would like to join us on Patreon. For $10 a month. That's patreon.com/DocuSweeties. $10 a month. And you get exclusive content such as a live every first Monday of the month. But if you can't support us in that way and you like to support us in other ways, Chris can tell you how you can do it in another way. Free way, Chris.
yeah, will you just go ahead and follow us on all our social medias and like all our posts and like comment and then just like tell your friends to do so too and just like be obsessed with us? We would love you to do that. We are at
Mm-hmm.
DocuSweeties on Instagram, at DocuSweeties on TikTok, at DocuSweeties1 on X, and at the DocuSweeties podcast Facebook group exists wherever you log into Facebook. And other than that, give us 5 stars. Thanks.
All right. Bye.